Okay. All right. So, welcome to today's analysis of the NQ and a little bit of related markets. I was sick for the week, but I'm feeling better now and ready to look at what happened while I wasn't on. We had the interest rate decision from the US, which I don't think was anything that people didn't really expect. But either way, let's look at what the charts did. What happened in price. I'm gonna hide everything local. Local. Okay. Let's move back. Let's go on to the hourly. Keep it simple for now. Last time I made a video, was it Monday? I was talking about this 12-hour block. We had some liquidity points going into it. Oh, I made a post, but I didn't make a video. We had some liquidity points leading into this. So I was saying we could come down to even take this, which, oh, don't you start doing this now. I said we could come down into this low, which we didn't need to. All we did was barely tap some liquidity here during the news push. There's also an SMT on the traditional markets, so you can see on the normal exchanges this low wasn't taken. It was on this. Gave a pretty solid bounce once we hit that. You know, and we changed character here. Still working out this zone, but you could say definitely that this internal one is confirmed. It got tiny little mitigation here of a gap and took liquidity and pushed up. So I was looking for it to come back into this zone, 24,420, but it didn't seem to need it. We can still come back into that though. So where do we stand with larger structure? Well, we are just pushing up. We have this greatest trend break of structure here. We can still come back into this zone. I still have all of these levels marked here, but they do seem to just be building structure higher and higher. So we gotta work with what they're giving us. Would I say that this 12-hour is done? Didn't come into the points that I expected, but we got the break of structure. So I mean, this 12-hour block, we could still get maybe something in here, but for now I am going to say that this has been used. Undo, man. No. The hell? Why does this happen? What's happening here? Not letting me undo stuff. Okay. I would say that this 12-hour is done. But we'll see once we come back into it. So we got a break structure here. We kind of cut through internal. I was talking about this zone, and I was like, this is a no long zone for me. And rightly so. I just didn't like it. Keep drawing. Is that why? No, what the? I don't know, man. Okay. There was like, sorry, there was something that TradingView added recently. It's like a highlight thing. Where is it? Demonstration. Huh? Oh. Yes. What I want. Okay. So, yeah, SMT. Push up. I'm going to call this a midterm break. In relation to this, we have this, right? It's the last external liquidity point. I can't undo, man. I can't undo. What's happening? This happens when I start recording, weirdly enough. We have this low and this high now. We have this whole zone to kind of come into, right? We have money flow interest points down here at around 24,492. We have vector recovery lower. We have past daily view up. We have a little order block. We have a little naked point control. And we have my little vector that took this liquidity, which I'm looking to see get interacted with. I would consider taking some longs from this point. You also have a volume gap around here. I'd like to zoom in a bit more, which we can do. We have the power. Lots of vector recovery around here. I'm going to favor you. Give me you. Yes. Big old block here. Some liquidity points. I could see us getting a bounce from this zone. From 20... Yeah, well, I mean, technically from 24,250 up to 24,450. That's $200 range down here that we could see something. What are we doing above this point? We have very small internal liquidity being grabbed and breaks of structure. And now we have come up into this zone, which they've wanted to just push it out. Playing with this like internal area. Immediately, we have naked point of control of like a 15-second change of character down here, which sits around this liquidity point. We could see some messing around this point, I guess, depending on what US wants to do. We've no more news today. We have vector recovery below. Bit iffy on it, but yeah, we could see some kind of dirty wick coming down to here. If we break this low, you know, we have equal lows around here. I know this is a gap mitigation, but there are equal enough lows situated down here. We have this breakaway gap. Coming for this might be a bit iffy. So if we do break down like below these liquidity points, I would be waiting until here. So maybe take some shorts, I guess. Maybe. We can't deny though that our structure is built around this low. So if we got some prolonged accumulation down here, I could see us coming up. So what do we have internally? We mitigated a 45-minute block, which led to a break of structure. Where is that break of structure? One here. Now structure's gotten a bit strange inside here. Well, it's not gotten strange. It's just it doesn't fall in line with my my models as much. But you know, technically we change a character here. We have China and Tokyo's high, and the extreme point for us maintaining this small little downtrend that we have, I would say, is this point here at 24,770. Or a very, very, very heavy swing fail of that point, perhaps from this 24-minute order block. But I'm not crazy on taking shorts from this just yet. Coming up there, we would be breaking a lot of internal structure upwards. It would have to be something very dramatic for me to entertain that point. Divs wise, things are kind of telling me that it wants to push up again. Let's say on the 12-minute. Do we even get a div between these 2 points? This is one wave. I mean, we div from here to here with money flow too. The divs that I want to focus on are actually really large time frame stuff. Let me go to the clean chart just to show you. So 12-hour, no, and I know that it needs time for everything on the lower time frames to add up. But if we zoom out to the 3-day, I think you can see divs starting. Or we did anyway. Did that get invalidated? Oh yeah. Okay. We're not divvying anymore on that time frame. And the weekly is... This is all one wave. Yeah. We could see some more upside, I guess, you know. We're really not seeing many convincing signs of divergences on a lot of the time frames anymore. Doesn't mean they can't use something to pull it back, but shorts are, you know, unless you're playing very internal things like this. Like I took a short yesterday at Tokyo here, right? Based fully on just the local PA that we were experiencing. This guy. I know you could have left it to take this guy or whatever, but I was going to bed, so. You can take shorts. Just when it's in price discovery, just be really careful, you know. I know, like, catching stuff like this is really, Oh, actually, well, I did actually catch this. But, I wouldn't recommend it. Shorting in price discovery is iffy. Very iffy. So use the levels that are given to you, and those levels are in internal nested levels. So in this case, you know, longs. Though they could turn it around slowly. We are getting build-up of internal liquidity being taken here. The fact is, though, that this whole thing, this whole push-up, has nothing except this liquidity point down here, and then the point of control, in my eyes. For UK's open, we didn't do what I want to see. So let's have a look at other markets. Did it do it either? No. So I'd like this. Red thing's a bit too thick, but I would have liked this low to kind of come into this pocket at least, but it didn't, and it gave a reaction up, and that's fine. But I'm still just, I have a raised eyebrow about what's happening very locally. So this 45-minute has been mitigated. Sometimes we can come back into other liquidity points inside and get reactions. You know, taking Japan's high might give us a reaction. But because of the structural change that would be happening, taking China's high even, I would be careful about taking shorts from this point. Up here, 24,782 or so, you know, 770 to 800. Maybe you could get some if there was strong reactions here. Maybe you could get something. Our 24-minute bearish money flow interest is around this point. The 45 is up here. This kind of liquidity area, though, we could just get another push up. we're getting one of those weird little hidden divs here. So from this point to this point, but the bulk of the wave is actually, it was divergence. So I mean, yeah, this could bring us up, I guess. Wouldn't really be something I would trade, but could bring us up. Why is my structural point keep disappearing? This guy. Push up. Very good. So yeah, as I said, taking these lows, we, you know, could spend a lot of time up here, building liquidity here in order to bring it down next week, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see what US does. All right. That's the NQ for now. I guess I would be cautious and aware that we have some areas below that we can get swiped. Whether you want to short into them or not is up to you. Just be aware that we are building this large curve downwards, but we are taking liquidity as we go down. But this, you know, this 45-minute block, it was tapped, so you would want to be looking for a strong swing fail of Tokyo's high, or waiting for different levels, I guess. But yeah, once it takes 24,770, be rather careful. All right, what happened with gold? I'll look quickly at gold. As we were coming into more price discovery, this was news. This was the interest rate cut, which pushed us down, changed internal structure here. I'm not going to do full TA on gold. You can watch Andre's things on gold or somebody else, but I'll give a quick overview. Let's bring it down to the 12. We seemed to get no acceptance lower than this point here, which was a point of displacement leading up. So could we see some recovery of this from here? Yes. Oh, that works now for some reason. Sure, we could. What does that mean for the stock market? Depends what gold does, because we could just range on both. Or we could range on gold and then NQ could search for liquidity using that stagnation on gold, right? So we'll have to see, but gold seems to have gotten some kind of reaction from this point. Maybe some internal recovery is possible. Is that backed up by other things? Well, let's have a look at I don't think I'm going to look at anything else today. We could look at the ES and the Dow. Look at the 2-hour charts for both of these. Compared to the NQ. They're essentially doing the same things, all of the charts. There's nothing very drastic of a difference. Yeah, Dow never took this low. So the Dow did diverge a lot with this push up, but it's just relative price action. I mean, it ended up doing the exact same thing. There's not much of a difference here. And, you know, generally SMTs between these are on lower time frames, right? Small little taps. So S&P takes a high and it's moving down. Dow Jones doesn't take it. NQ doesn't take it. You could see the NQ rolling over for no reason, kind of a thing. Yeah, not much to report on there. So I have my zones lower. Immediately we have this zone which I talked about. If we break this down this low here at 24 to 40, because we're coming into a pretty mitigated zone, I would be eyeing up lower. We have a break of structure here. Chart just doesn't want to undo. We have a break of structure here. Here. Which is nested inside this. So this did have mitigation of a large gap here, and it's sitting above equal lows. This zone is a bit odd for me. If we were coming down here, we would have a lot more structure built here. We'd have to see how we get to this point to see if I really even want to entertain taking trades from there. Right now, we're playing this zone. As I said earlier, come down into here. If we roll over into this zone, we could get a retracement long. Anyway, this still has an exclamation mark, meaning it can get liquidity taken and still be strong. So let's see if they do that. All right, that's it for today. What else? I'm a bit iffy on immediate trades. But until I see something very convincing for longs, I'm going to be aware that we have this area down here that we could swipe into, and we could stay inside here for a while, you know. I'm also aware that we did have this change of character, and we could come up, dance around here, and then US could bring it down. So, but the trend is down internally until we hit something that's connected to a greater catalyst, which is this zone. So I guess I would just wait until this or this. Yeah. All right. Peace, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you next week. Enjoy your weekend. And happy trading. Bye.